defense moderating today.
Okay. Good
Hey,
to go?
Coach.
Hey, guys.
Yes. Would you like an opening statement first, or would you like to go straight to questions?
Let's go straight to questions.
Okay, great. First, we're going to start with Anthony Dasher and then Austin Roper.
Okay.
Hey, Coach, just wondering how many 10 walk-one hitters have you ever been a part of before your coaching career?
I don't think any. I don't think. There's always, with all those games that you play, there's certainly some ugly wins mixed in there. And that was kind of an ugly one. But, when you walk 10 guys, you don't really think that you should have a chance to win. But we made plays and we limited the damage. We made it interesting. And, I thought that we had some opportunities to score a bunch of runs, and the wind cut down so much. Cheney Rogers hit the ball today better than he did yesterday, and he couldn't believe it when he came in the dugout because he got all of it. And Benny Anderson's ball and Riley King's ball. Actually, Riley King had 2 balls that I thought were home runs. So, I thought we swung the bat better than what the scoreboard showed, but that was the kind of day it was. And certainly a day like today, it should be a good day to pitch. And that's what I told several of the pitchers is, hey, the wind's blowing in, a really good day to pitch. And we just didn't challenge enough hitters, and we walked certainly way too many guys.
But that aside, I mean, so many of these freshmen you talked about before the series started was going to get a chance to come in here and pitch for the first time, to get this experience right now, and for the most part, being very successful. What is that going to mean for this group now moving forward, these young kids?
Well, that's what we just talked about in right field. If we didn't have 5 guys out, then it's at least 5 of those freshmen probably aren't pitching this week. We had, I believe 8 freshmen that pitched. So, all those guys got an opportunity because the opportunity was there, and they took advantage of it. Not all of them were perfect. And I actually told Hank Bearden that when I took him out. I said, Hank, I didn't really think you pitched very well. And he kind of looked at me funny, and I said, but you got the job done. So that's the encouraging thing, is you didn't have your best stuff, because we all know Hank's really good, and we know he's going to be really good for us. And he just looked a little bit off, and that's kind of what you expect from a freshman taking the mound for the first time at the University of Georgia. It's pretty nerve-wracking. And but I thought they all fought through it, and they did their jobs, and that's what we needed out of them.
Who are you going to pitch on Wednesday yet? Do you know?
That's a great question. Maybe you, Anthony. I don't know. We're
My arm is shot, Coach. I'm sorry.
We're gonna throw a lot of guys. We haven't figured out who's gonna start. Maybe Ben Harris. Ben threw really well the other day, and he'll be on some rest. Liam Sullivan was a candidate. He threw today, didn't throw a bunch of pitches. I think it's a good chance that we'll probably throw 6 or 7 guys on Wednesday, but we haven't decided who's going to start. But Ben Harris is a pretty good candidate.
Oh, thanks, man.
Yep.
Hey, Coach. So with how the whole group of the pitching staff as a whole, I think you had 15 on the mound this weekend, or 13, something around there. But with how everyone pitched, this weekend and moving forward, where do you kind of how do you work out spots for everybody? Because it seemed like you had so many people that pitched pretty well this weekend. So where do you find the spots going forward?
Well, it's a good problem to have. It just makes things a little bit more competitive. And when these guys come, Ryan Webb, we expect to have him back this coming weekend to pitch against Gardner Webb, and then Jonathan Cannon probably the following weekend, or at least in the midweek. And then Brandon Smith and Logan Moody and Michael Polk. That's 5 veteran arms that are going to be trickling back in over the next 2 and 3 weeks. So it just becomes more competitive. And, we don't have to tell the pitchers that, but they know it. Hey, if I want to pitch, if I want to get out there, I'm going to have to do my job and take care of business. And, for the most part, guys did their jobs this weekend. I'm very happy with overall the results, the way we pitched. It needs to get better, needs to clean up a little bit for sure. But for 8 freshmen to go out there and get it done, for us to win 3 out of 4, I'm pleased with it.
Okay, let's have Tori Heck and then Jed May.
Hey, Coach, Will Pearson just mentioned to us the tight-knit group of freshman pitchers that you had, especially a lot of them we saw today. What have you seen as far as the camaraderie among those guys so far this season?
Well, they are tight. A lot of those guys played summer baseball together. We recruited them at the same time. So these kids all know each other. And, with the summer ball circuit the way it is now, if they didn't play together, they always played against each other. And with social media and these kids, the kids that are committed in our classes earlier, they're 2 or 3 years away from coming here, but they all know each other through social media. So these guys have all gotten to know each other. And the other thing you think about, these freshmen have been stuck in the dorms. This has been a year like no other. And so they've had to be in the dorms. They can't go out and wander out and go with their high school friends and go home to see their families as much as normal, they're staying in the dorms and staying with their friends. And I think that makes that group even closer.
Hey, Coach, I wanted to ask you about the offense. I think y'all had 5 extra base hits over the 4 games, but you still win 3 out of 4. You were aggressive on the bases today, all that kind of stuff. Is that going to be the approach that we're going to see all season long? And what advantages can that give you, I guess, even when you're not hitting home runs all day long?
Yeah, and like I said to Anthony earlier, I thought we hit 3 balls that were home runs today, and it just didn't happen. So it's just kind of the way that the weather worked for us. But yeah, we're going to try to put pressure on people as much as possible, whether that's a safety squeeze or a hit and run or just a straight sack bunt. And you saw a sack bunting that they had trouble defending it a little bit. Our guys did a great job. We laid down some really good bunts to challenge them, but it's one of those things. If you lay down a bunt and they struggle to field it, we'll just do it again and just keep going back to it. And if a team can defend that and does a good job, then maybe you go to something else. But we kind of went to the well with the bunt just because they struggled a little bit to cover it.
Okay, and the last 2 questions, let's have William Newland and Davis Baker.
Hey, Coach. I wanted to ask about Ben Anderson, not seeing him lead off today. Did he just need some time to get out of his head? And what was the thinking bringing him back in the 7th?
Yeah, just seeing it from a different angle. I mean, he had arguably could be our best hitter, and he just scuffled a little bit, was pressing. And so I just watch it from a different angle for a couple innings. And when they bring in that guy that throws with the right arm, you're going to be in there. And we did. So him and Randon split the game. And I thought Ben's last at bat was really good. I thought he had a home run and got a sac fly when we needed to extend the lead. But yeah, nothing more than, just sitting down, taking a breath, watching the game from a different angle. And he's a great player. And I think he's got a chance to be an All-American and just needed to slow down a little bit. And I think his last few at bats have been pretty positive and certainly had a great at bat to end the game on Saturday. And then I thought his last at bat today was good. So I think that you can see him start to get some momentum. But yeah, there's nothing more than that. And plus, Randon Jernigan's a really good player. We got to get him at bats too. So he got 2 starts over the weekend, and it was great to see him be a contributor.
Hey, Coach, earlier this week you talked about the importance of toughness. How would you evaluate your team's toughness in this opening series?
Well, when you lose opening day, the way that we did, I mean, it's really tough to handle. And so we could have folded right there. And, heck, we could have very easily lost game 3 yesterday. And then we're fighting like crazy today just to split the series. So I thought our guys handled the adversity well. It was not a perfect weekend by any stretch. We have a long way to go and a lot to improve on. But overall, we could have folded and we didn't. I thought that we played very hard. I thought our guys' energy was good. And again, a lot of guys contributed. I don't know how many guys exactly we played, but we played a ton of guys this week. And I'd say probably close to 30 players saw action. And that just shows a lot of depth and is going to help us in the future.
Thanks so much, Coach, and congrats on the weekend.
Okay. Thanks, guys.